Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Kamal Rafizul bin Rahizi. I'm from DAD 2B. My metric number is 15 DAD 20F 2025. Today I want to show you, or I want to present about a suspension vehicle. The suspension vehicle, the system consists of tire, spring, shock absorber and mechanical connection between the wheel. The mechanical connection allows relative movement between the wheel and the chassis, as well as isolating the movement so that the passenger remain comfortable. Among the function of the suspension system are, for the first one, I want to talk about the ensure that all tires in the contact with the road surface to gain traction, the accelerating, turning or braking. For the second one, isolate and absorb all noise from the car or vehicle, vibration and roughness from the road surface from seeping into the cabin. For the last one and the third one is minimize the chassis movement during the rolling, dive and squat. Is about the speeding. Among the main component of the suspension system, the first one, the tires, provide the contact patches between the road surface with the tire surface and grip. This is a grip essential during the braking, accelerating and cornering. For the second one, about the spring, ensure the tires are always in a connect with the road. If the tire passes through a puddle or bump and spring at the receiving the impact from the change or in position of the either up or down. In this case, the chassis being the spring is termed as a sprung mass. The wheel that is under the spring is called a sprung mass. For the last one, it's about the shock absorber. Is the spring receive an impact. The nature of the spring is the wheel keep until it's run out of energy. To pervert the spring from the too long, the shock absorber is matched to the spring. These shock absorbers are usually classified into the gas and liquid. This system is divided into two. The first one independent system and the second one is a dependent system. That's all. Thank you for me.
Okay, my name is Umar Abdullah and I'm from DAD2B. Now I want to explain about the Hooke laws. Hooke laws is a law of cycle that states that the force need to extend or compress a spring by some distance. Scalinear with respect to that distance, that is Fs to equal to Kx, where K is constant factor characteristic of the spring, and X is small compared to the total possible deformation of the spring. The law is named after 17th country British cyclist Robert Hooke. Okay, secondly, I want to talk about linear spring. For linear spring, consider a simple helical spring that has one end attached to some fixed object, while the free end is being pulled by a force whose magnitude is Fs. Suppose the spring has reached a state of equilibrium where its length is not changing anymore. Let X be the amount by which the free end of spring was displaced from its relaxed position. Okay, it is not complete if we just talk about spring without Hooke law, which can be used as a measure to know the relative strength of spring. And this is Hooke law formula explained. F equal to Kx, where F is the force required to compress or lengthen the spring. X is distance the springs is compressed, and K is the spring coefficient.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Ali Hatim bin Muhammad Ali Raidi. My metric number is 15DAD 20F 2053. Today I would like to talk about dependent system and independent system. Dependent system, the suspension mechanism for the tire on the left and right side of the car will be connected with a single iron bar. Any movement on the right wheel will affect the movement on the left wheel because the chamber for this suspension is always in a fixed state. This system is widely used by commercial vehicles and trucks to carry heavy loads. The disadvantage of this system is that the mechanical movement of components will cause the distance between the wheel of the car to change, especially when through a bumpy or perforated bend. The car felt like it was drifting a bit, causing the driver to feel like it was less stable. One example of this system is torsion beam axle. This system is commonly used for economy sedan or compact car. Due to its simple design, it offers more cargo space, yet most manufacturers use this system because it is more cheaper to produce. Yet, if matched with a solid case, the result can be common like a Renault RS. Next is independent system. In this system, the movement of the suspension mechanism for the left and right wheels have been isolated from each other. Any movement between the left wheel will not affect the right wheel. However, this system uses a more complex connection rod compared to the dependent system. Because it is more complex, the system offers more geometric control for engineers. It provides advantage in terms of comfort, stability, and even better driving control. However, as the mechanical component increase, production costs also will increase. Multi-link suspension is variation of the double wishbone system but has more guard arms or control arm. The purpose is for wheel control to be done more perfectly. It is commonly used by handling-oriented cars such as Proton and BMW. These two types of system will be elaborated in more detail in the next post. Each system has its own advantage and disadvantage, and we'll discuss further in future articles.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhammad Rian bin Habibi. My matrix number is 15DAD20F2039. So I'm here to talk about 5 suspension marks need to be changed. A faulty suspension system also makes it difficult for you to control the vehicle, thus inviting the risk of danger to personal safety. The signs of a car suspension system that need to be observed and maintained or completely replaced are as follows. Number 1. Stopping distance further. According to industry experts, damage to the suspension system can be increased your car stopping distance by up to 10%. Maybe the percentage is small, but the impact is high enough for you really need to stop as much as possible. You can test your car at a certain speed, preferably at a speed of 60 km/h, and try emergency braking. Record the stopping distance and check with the data first, or compare with a car with the same. Number 2, the nozzle of the car plunge, deviates or slide. When the car slips or change direction frequently, the driver will usually do the tire alignment. Unfortunately, that action may not solve the problem. If your steering center is still erratic, it may be due to spring damage in the suspension system. Number 3, vibration on the steering wheel. Unless you're driving on an unpaved road, you shouldn't have a problem with the steering wheel vibrating. If it happens even on a good surface road, you need to immediately pay attention to the suspension system. And number 4, the car vibrates when it hits a hump. If your car rattles excessively every time it passes road humps, the problem indicates the spring or your car's control arm is broken. And lastly, bald or uneven tire. A damaged suspension spring will cause the weight of the car to be uneven. This causes the excess weight of the car to be concentrated on one side only. In fact, on the other hand, the other part will be at risk of faster wear and damage. Tires that have uneven tire tread problems are clear signs that your suspension system is malfunction. Okay, that's all for me. Assalamualaikum. My name is Mariam bin Habibi. My matrix number is 15DAD20F2039. So I'm here to talk about 5 suspension marks need to be changed. A faulty suspension system also makes it difficult for you to control the vehicle, thus inviting the risk of danger to personal safety. The signs of a car suspension system that need to be observed and maintained or completely replaced are as follows. Number 1. Stopping distance further. According to industry experts, damage to the suspension system can be increased your car stopping distance by up to 10%. Maybe the percentage is small, but the impact is high enough where you really need to stop as much as possible. You can test your car at a certain speed, preferably at a speed of 60 km/h, and try emergency braking. Record the stopping distance and check with the data first, or compare with a car with the same model.